Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. There was once a time in my life where I always put other people's needs before my own. And if I ever felt like I wanted to do something for myself or choose something I wanted instead of a friend or a family member, I felt very selfish. I felt it wasn't right for me to put my needs first. Can you relate? I felt so selfish. Like, who am I to want these things or, that? And I just wanted to help people, and I still love helping people. But I come to the realization that I need to fill up my own cup. I need to take care of my needs before I help somebody else. And it was actually just an example this past weekend. We had some high emotions in our house, and I was emotional. We were all emotional. Let's just everybody. I don't have to name everybody because we were all. It was very high. There was a lot of frustration in people's voices and the tones. Like, it was just really not good. Like, we had moments of nice smoothness, but most of the time it wasn't flowing, and things felt really yucky. I didn't have the best Friday. I was feeling crappy and I was just in a bad mood. And then my kids come, like, it was just, everybody was in a bad mood. Anyways, by Sunday, yes, it took me till Sunday, guys. Because like Saturday was actually pretty flowy. Things worked pretty good. By Sunday though, it was getting a little rough again. And I was like, enough is enough, guys. We're all going for a walk. Let's go get our stuff on and go to the beach. So we went for a walk down to the beach. And on that walk, a beautiful thing happened. My oldest shared about their feelings and things like that. And they were very open and honest about what happened. Something bothered them on Friday. I'm like, oh man, you took that into the weekend. So I was very listening and things like that. And I realized we didn't have to have all that baggage all weekend long. But I wasn't at a good place on Friday. They couldn't approach me. They couldn't share right away on Friday because I wasn't in a good mood. So I couldn't go back in time, but it was a big eye-opener and a gentle, loving reminder that as a parent and as a person in general, as a coach, as somebody to help and inspire and motivate other people, I need to be inspired and motivated first. I need to be taking care of my emotions, my needs, the things that are bubbling under the surface. I need to take care of me so I can show up as my best. So when we were having that conversation, I was, my oldest and I was like, they thanked me so much for listening and things like that. And I'm like, you know what? Yes, I wasn't feeling good on Friday. And we had a really good conversation about our feelings, working through things. And I was so grateful that I was at a good place to listen and to support. But it was a really big reminder to me of how important it is to take care of myself first. So I was like so emotional on Friday. It was just, I wasn't feeling good. I just was not feeling good. Probably because I was just coming off sugar again. And anyways, I'm not making excuses, but I wasn't feeling good. And I wasn't handling my emotions well. And then my emotions, it was a domino effect. It affected my husband. And then when my kids came home, they were emotional and we all were emotional together, which there's nothing wrong with being emotional. However, I can't support people through their emotions like that, especially when they're really, really big emotions, when I'm feeling my own big emotions. So, and that's just an emotional side of things, but just taking care, sleeping well, eating good, nourishing foods, taking care of your body in all ways, like movement, and just all the things that our bodies need. Dental hygiene for everything. You know what I mean? Just every area of our bodies and minds and spirit need things. When we're not filling ourselves up with things that bring us joy, we can't help others in our life because then somewhere in there, like that's where resentment starts coming in, and frustrations and anger. Oh boy, do I know anger. I think at some point I definitely need to do a podcast on anger. I don't think I have yet. And it's been one of my biggest emotions. No, that isn't, no emotion's bad, but it's one that I have a lot of, a lot when my needs aren't met. When I get angry at my husband, I'm like, oh, I have to look inward to me. Not that sometimes he does stuff that, there might be things that he does that is justified anger, but at the same time, I could handle it differently if my own needs weren't being met, or if they were being met. So if you are feeling, that tug or guilt about putting yourself first, or this idea that it's selfish to put yourself first, maybe you're like, but I'm a mom, or but I have people that rely on me, but. I'm not saying you ignore people in your life. I'm saying put yourself at the top of your to-do list. Now, the very first step, and this is super important, super, super important, is start changing the way you're looking at it. So I just shared a story about how I need to take care of myself. And even like when I was going through my healing journey last year with Candida, I still have, lots to learn about it and changing things still, but I wasn't at my best. I was brain fog. I could barely remember things as I walk into a room and forget exactly what I was doing. So I was not at a good place to help people. It's like I could, anyways. So these stories I share with you are because if you're not taking care of yourself, your needs, your desires, your body, every aspect of your life, then putting energy out to help others, like that energy is not there. Or you're not, maybe it's there, but it's not fully there. Maybe your tank has been running on empty so long that you just know what empty feels like and you survive and you get through it. I've been there too. When my youngest, he wasn't sleeping through the night for 2 years. And in the moment, I had no idea how bad it was until I finally started getting good night sleeps again. And then we were trying to pick up our life. I'm like, oh, that was bad. Like we were on survival mode. So sometimes when we do something for so long, we just think that is what life is and that's the norm. But life is meant to be fun and enjoyed. You're meant to have energy and do things that you love. And at the same time, take care of your loved ones. I know personally, I do have it's fun trying to find this balance. A lot of the time it's when my kids are on break. So spring break, winter break, and definitely summer break, where I have to find this balance between taking care of me and taking care of them. Because then I have more, like our schedules aren't as scheduled, really. They're more freeing and more just flowing and things. But at the same time, then I might forget to take care of me. And usually what I've done is I actually try to take, especially in the summer months, I would take care of me first. So I wake up, they're old enough now that they can get themselves breakfast. And my husband's always around too if they need help. But I'll do yoga first. I'll meditate first. And then I'll come down, drink my glass of water, and have a cup of coffee with them. Not with them, but I'll sit with them and be with them, read with them, or whatever they would like to do. Or if they're outside, enjoy a cup of coffee outside. But I will do those things. Take care of me first, because whenever I don't, then I don't do it at all day long, unless I ask my husband to take the kids out for a while or I get out for a while. So it's really important to start looking at it differently. That when you are taking care of you, you're actually taking care of others too, because you can take care of them better when you're at a better place. I hope that makes sense, and I hope does that make sense? Hopefully. So it's changing the way you see things. It's not saying don't take care of anybody ever again. Just means take care of you. And you don't have to do all the things before you take care of somebody, but just be mindful of how much energy you're putting out versus how much energy you're giving back to yourself. And if they're not fairly balanced, then things are going to feel off. And the other thing to think about is, or really come to realize and understand, is that you are worthy. That you are worthy of your own time and love. Because that can be hard too. When you don't think you're worthy or that you don't need that love yourself, but you do. We really can't love unconditionally unless we love ourselves unconditionally. I know these are some things that, might be hard to hear. But the more you love yourself, the more time and energy you give yourself, the more love you can give to others in your life. And you might be like, but I do love everybody unconditionally. And that is could be true. Okay? But the more you love yourself, the more love you'll have to give and share. I know for me personally, when I take care of myself, mind, body, and spirit, when I'm doing all the things, maybe I'm not saying when every area of my life is that I'm focused on, I'm eating well, sleeping well, doing yoga, moving, and things like that. When something comes up in my life that's it just happened, or I run into somebody that's not nice, they're a little growly, I can handle it and move through it so much smoother than if I wasn't sleeping, eating well, or moving my body. So even when my kids are moody or things go on, I can handle things in my life. I can move through the situations so much more loving because I've given myself love first. So what do you do once you are okay, changing the way I look at taking care of myself? It's not selfish. It is self-love. And it's so, so important to take care of you so you are at a better place to take care of others. So just change the way you look at things. Change the way you look about it, really. Remember that you are worthy of your own love and time. And then if you're not quite sure if things are balanced, there's definitely different things you can do, different activities. But there's one here that I'll share with you that's fairly simple, but it's really eye-opening as well. So make a list of all the things you do in a day, week, or month, depending on, every day is the same, then just look at a day. If your week's really different, then do at least a week and just kind of write it out. Then make a list of all the things that bring you joy, things that you love doing, things that, just light you up when you're doing them, that just make you happy, even just thinking about them. Then go back to that first list and highlight or circle the things that bring you joy, from your second list. Now, if there's none there, or there's, only a few, then figure out how to add more of them into your day, week, or month. Now, obviously, you still got the same 24 hours in that day, or, you got the same hours in that week. So it might be about removing a few of the things that don't bring you joy, or maybe getting support or help in different areas so you can make more room in your life to do the things that bring you joy. Because when you're grumpy and moving through life as a grump, I'm thinking of The Grinch That Stole Christmas. I know it's not Christmas when this is coming out. It's not even Christmas when I'm recording this. But, when you get grumpy, or Oscar the Grouch, maybe from Sesame Street. I don't know. I don't know much about him. I never watched Sesame Street. Anyways, but you get grumpy. And when you get grumpy, you show up in life grumpy. And it's really hard to go through life and love it fullingly if deep down you're not happy. So it's about taking care of yourself, sending yourself love, and doing more of what brings you joy. Now, that doesn't mean that, you never have to clean the house, because honestly, that does not bring me joy. I do not like cleaning. And right now, getting a cleaning person in is a little tricky on a regular basis. So it has to get done. So what do you do when something has to get done and it just, you can't figure out how to give it to somebody else? Well, one, I get my kids involved. My husband and kids help clean the house. And I make it more fun by putting music on. Who doesn't like a little dance party while we clean? Because my kids don't like cleaning either. And so we try to make it fun. So some things that we don't like doing, but you got to get done because, so it's the things that you don't like. It's about, but you have to do. Bring fun into it. I even, when I do dishes, my husband's going to be listening to this and he's like, you don't do dishes. I haven't been doing dishes very often lately. I'll own up to that. But when I do, I put on, especially if the kids are watching TV or they're doing homework or they're doing something else and they're in the area, because we have an open concept, I would put headphones in and I'll listen to a podcast or usually music and pump up and like dance with dishes. So make things fun. And yeah, like sometimes, we got to do what we got to do in life and it needs to get done. But it's also turning it into fun. And also goes back to the first thing I asked you to do. Change the way you look at it. So sometimes in life, we're doing things that we think can't bring us joy, but we can actually have them bring us joy. A little bit like even working out. Like if you don't like moving your body, it's figuring out how to do something that you love. Like I can't wait until the nice weather comes. I'll go paddleboarding. Mind you, I guess actually people around here still, or mind you, in theory, I could paddleboard in the winter as well. I just don't really want to. Anyways, but it's more enjoyable in the warmer months. Thing is, remember, you're worthy. And it's so important to take care of you. And it is not selfish. And if you are feeling guilty about putting your needs first, look at that deeper. Go deeper and be like, where did you learn that it's not good to put yourself first? Okay, if it's really hard to make that change, where did you learn that? Okay. I hope this has helped. Thank you so much for being here. And again, I say it one more time. You are worthy of your own love and time. So, so worthy. And I so much appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here and listening. If this is something that you're like, wow, or you had like some aha moments, share it with others. Don't keep this episode or even this podcast a secret. Share the love. And remember to take care of you. I know I've said that a million times, but I don't think I can say it enough. You can find more free resources over on my website at jodymisiak.com. And I'd love to have you in my community, so you can also join my loving community as well. So thank you again, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.